Hey, Mr. Lewis, I saw your recent Spearhead Sundays episodes and decided to send you a little story that happened to me this summer. Maybe you could get a kick out of this one, kick out of one of the worst days in my recent life, since admittedly it was quite funny in retrospect. We love these. If you have an email, if you've got a story of the worst day in your life, I would love to laugh at you, because we've all been there. I was born in a smaller city in a small Catholic county in Latin America to a judge and a lawyer. God, talk about pressure. Catholic judge and lawyer. That sounds horrific. My father always worked late on his cases I never cared about, and my mum also worked late attending to her judicial duties. She's a special kind of judge we have here that basically only attends pre-trials, picks up bodies from the streets, and oversees police raids and evidence collection. Fuck, that's a grim job. Sounds like they would have been either the most hard-ass strict parents ever, or just the most relaxed, do whatever you want. I've seen 3 people overdose on heroin today. I don't care if you don't do your homework, all right? I'm stressed. I need a fucking cigarette. When I turned 17, I was accepted into a very prestigious electronics engineering program. However, this was 2 cities away, and despite this meaning only 2 hours travel, it was decided I would move out to attend university there. This would be a good moment to mention that, unbeknownst to my parents, I am a homosexual and a massive faggot. Oh, that came out of nowhere. Being the massive fag that I am, I jumped at the chance and finally moved out of my liberal college town. Skip 3 years and we reach our next important plot point. And finally, the start of my story. Geez, being gay in a Catholic family to a double judge parent, that'd be tough. I'm assuming they don't know. Bottom line is, I met a guy who's just like the line. Oh, bottom line. That's funny. He's a bottom. I understand that. He's a cute guy from one of my classes, which I came to know during a specifically bad electronic design project. We got together after some time and became boyfriends. Now, thing is, we always hung out at one of our places. We never really went out drinking, since being a gay couple in a conservative Catholic country can be complicated. We always lamented this. What a good word. Oh, we lamented being Catholic gays, especially not being able to go to bars or clubs, and as the only clubs and gay bars are in the capital and neither of us drive. That's the gayest thing about you. What is it with gay people and not having their driver's license? I would argue that having no driver's license as an adult is gayer than having sex with a man if you're a bloke. I have no driver's license. I'm technically a part of the LGBT community, despite being a bumhole virgin. Tired of our predicament, we planned an outing to a famous gay bar in the capital. Fuck, dude, that's like when I went to Pufdorf. I had a good time at Pufdorf. The gays know how to party, man. And everyone's so polite. There wasn't any fights. Everyone was so nice to me. I understood what it was like to be a attractive woman. Plan was we'd leave our college town for the capital by train, party it out till late at night, and then catch an Uber to his hometown, which was closer to the capital than our college town. His parents were out of town, so we would sleep there and then take the train back in the morning and be home in time to keep both our covers unblown. Back in time to jump in the closet. We executed the plan amazingly and got to experience the wonders of overpriced drinks, music a bit too loud, and constant smell of body fluids, and being offered drugs on several instances by shady individuals who were clearly not glad to be assigned peddling in the gay bar. I hadn't even thought of that. Of course, the drug dealers wouldn't necessarily be gay, but the gay bars would be the most lucrative environments to sell drugs in. Imagine that, a homophobic drug dealer who's posted up at Pufdorf. That's funny. Everything went well. This guy's a great writer, by the way. Everything went well. We went to his home where his asleep brother didn't even clock our arrival. Partook in the Greek practice of male bonding and went to sleep naked. The next morning, not 3 hours after absolutely annihilating my boyfriend, I heard a huge bang And when I came to, I was lying on the floor with a boot over my chest, pinning me to the ground. Get on the floor! What are you doing being gay? As my senses came back, I noticed the screams ordering me to stay down and show my hands. Then I noticed the rifle aimed straight at me. Oh, fuck. Did I predict the future here? Although I was very confused, the men kindly identified themselves by shouting in my general direction, "Police! Police!" followed by their now repetitive orders for hand reveals. Now, I am usually not one to bend to the oppressive iron grip of the state. However, they had rifles and I had just unloaded my own ammo 3 hours ago. Oh, this little fairy's funny. And so I decided that maybe compliance would be the best way for me to not fucking die. As they stood me up, I noticed my boyfriend wasn't in such a different situation. An officer was pinning him to the wall. He might be a bit excited. This might be a new fantasy for you guys. By his back, which, although being a position he's used to, he didn't quite seem to be enjoying it. We both got handcuffed, and although we weren't allowed to put on clothes, I was given sheets to cover up. My boyfriend received the mattress cover, and so we were escorted out to the patrols. Geez, you guys would have been pitching a couple of fucking huge tents in those covers. To say I was scared of what was happening would be an understatement. As we walked the house's walkway, I kept repeating to myself what my lawyer family had always told me. Don't say shit, ask for a lawyer, and nothing else. I kept repeating this to myself in a desperate attempt to calm down. Lawyer, then shut. Lawyer, then shut. Lawyer, then shut. It was actually starting to work. But then I heard the single worst combination of words a man can hear in this situation. My full name being yelled from the onlooking police detail. Oh no, what have you done? I would have rather the officer tell me my balls were evidence and had to be confiscated, but instead I heard the unmissable voice of my mother. Oh no! Oh no, mummy's rocked up to you in handcuffs after you bummed your boyfriend. She doesn't even know you're gay. Oh, this isn't good. Wait, what the fuck are you being arrested for? It's not illegal to be gay. What country is this guy from? Catholic country in Latin America. It's not illegal to be gay there. Oh, the suspense. This is a fun email, isn't it? This is a good one. I heard the unmissable voice of my mother calling to me. She rushed me, encumbered by the bulletproof vest they gave the outside detail, and asked me what the actual hell I was doing in a drug house. Oh, no. However, this line of questioning was quickly interrupted by one of the SWAT officers whom, despite his disbelief at the situation, asked to step aside. He finally told me to ask for a lawyer, call my dad, and shut the fuck up. Well, can your mum be the lawyer? Or is she? Oh, so she was on duty for the drug bust. Because you said she was a type of lawyer that is there for the start of... Oh, that's so fucking funny. So she thinks she's about to arrest a crack den full of degenerates, and she arrests her own son and the boyfriend that she didn't know he had. That's so funny. The transport was uneventful. Me, my boyfriend, and his brother were taken to the station in different cars, so we couldn't prepare a story, and were taken to holding cells. This, however, was a minor improvement, as now I had itchy clothes and, most importantly, a particular lack of my mother. My dad came over not long after, and I had to go through the horrible experience of telling him absolutely everything as he was my lawyer. Ah, no. You got to come out to your dad while you're arrested and he's your lawyer? Fuck. As he was my lawyer and I wasn't taking chances with one of those suited chimps they call court-appointed attorneys, after he had a chat with police staff, he was able to shed some light on what the fuck happened. Turns out my boyfriend's brother was selling coke. Nothing special there. The issue was he was selling it in my home city. This gave my mum's narcotics department jurisdiction to organize a raid in collaboration with local police forces. Now, he was considered low risk, so only police were to be involved at first. However, surveillance saw two heavily impaired young males entering the residence at graveyard hours. So they, they thought you were customers. So they went with the safe route of expecting resistance and calling the one SWAT unit in my sleepy country shares. From there, well, read above. Oh my God, that is so fucking funny. So they thought you were part of an organized drug scheme. You just wanted to fuck your mate. Fuck. This is going to be the worst ever coming out of the closet story I've ever read on this show or ever heard of in my life. Oh my God. We haven't even found out if his parents are homophobic or not. The suspense. Once the coppers had all three stories, also thanks to my boyfriend's brother who did say we were not involved in any of it. Look, guys, the only thing they're putting in each other's bodies are each other's bodies, all right? They weren't involved in the drugs. Although they did have a lot of drugs, but that was at the gay bar. Fuck, were you guys drug tested? This is like a nightmare scenario. My boyfriend's brother, who did say we were not involved in any of it, and he didn't even know me, we were let go. I didn't even know he was gay, mate. I don't know what the fuck they were doing, having a sleepover naked. We were let go once we had our initial hearing and charges were not filed against me or my boyfriend. Yeah, that might have something to do with your parents being some of the most legally powerful people in the country. My family situation, however, did not go as well. My parents were not thrilled about the situation. They were mad at me for basically all that happened, although they also agreed that it wasn't really my fault. What they were most pissed about was that I didn't trust them enough to come out on my own. Oh, that's sweet. Instead, I had to be dragged out of the closet by police. We're mostly okay now, though, although there's still some tension remaining. Needless to say, my boyfriend and I broke up. He kept insisting that if I hadn't had the idea of going out, then he would not have been traumatized. And although he's kind of right, you couldn't expect me to know we were going to get raided. Dude, it's not your fault at all. He should be upset at his brother for being a fucking drug dealer. You just wanted to go dancing. No need to get all butthurt about it, hey? How you like that? The experience didn't affect me as much emotionally as it did my boyfriend. I believe mostly since I've come to remember it in a comedic way, a form of shielding myself from trauma by joking about the whole experience. Yeah, that would be very traumatic. It's probably, like you, probably the poor kid's first gay experience. Oh, finally, we can go to a gay bar and we can be gay and we can have gay sex and we can be our true selves. Get down on the fucking ground. Yeah, that would be, Look, I can't exactly knock him for dumping you because you're wrapped up in the whole trauma of it and your parents are part of the legal system. Yeah, that's rough. That's my little gay story about getting raided because homo. Writing this actually makes me think why from your user submitted story. Writing this, it actually makes me think why from your user submitted stories now, what the fuck does this say? Writing this, it actually makes me think why, from your user-submitted stories now, to involve queers being victim of the police. Maybe your core audience is anarchist queers. Yeah, I could see that. Who knows? I hope my misery could give you or your listeners a good laugh. Good luck on your great leap forward. Thank you, buddy. I'm looking forward to all your new episodes, new journalists to be subverted, and whatever you can do with that new-ish chin of yours. Best of wishes, V. What a story. Man, that's a Hall of Famer. That's a homo of fame. That's a Hall of Homo. What a great story. Out of all the gay emails I've gotten, that one's up there. And I've gotten a strikingly large amount of gay emails. In fact, just flicking through here, I just found it's every one of my. This is why I don't understand when people are like, "Oh, don't make fun of furries, brother." A good third of my audience seem to be queers. All right. I don't know where they came from either. I don't know what it is that attracts them to me, but I'm happy they're here as long as they buy a ticket. That's, what an awesome email.